So, welcome to the Agrico channel. I am Dr. Jitendra Nayak, and we are now going to study about two most important things. That is, one is which is related to monsoon in India, or we can say the rainfall amount in India. One is El Nino, which is known as the little boy, and another is La Nina, that is the little girl. So, in order to understand this concept, we have to know about some of the important things. One is, as we know that air always move from high pressure to low pressure. This is most important thing. And second important thing is that if temperature will increase, then the pressure will decrease. Another one important thing you should know that, as we know that the earth generally move, or we can say rotate, from west to east direction. That means the whatever the in equator region, in this equator region, whatever the wind will come, it will come from just opposite direction, that is from east to west direction. This is one concept. This is known as trade wind. This is known as trade wind in case of equatorial region. That means the trade wind will move from east to west direction. So now coming to the concept, there is normally three phases are there. One is neutral phase or normal phase. Another is La Nina phase, which we are called as the little girl, or the cooler phase of ENSO. ENSO means El Nino Southern Oscillation. So now here we can see another third one is El Nino, which is the warm phase, of ENSO. Okay, so basically coming to the concept, suppose we are having mostly this occur in this, whatever the El Nino and La Nina, these are the mechanism which is related to the Pacific Ocean. These are related to the Pacific Ocean. Here we can say have the Pacific Ocean, whatever this region is the Pacific Ocean. This is the Pacific Ocean, and this is divided into two groups. One is Eastern Pacific, another is Western Pacific. In the Eastern Pacific, we have North America, another is South America. Whereas in Western Pacific, one is, that is we can say Eurasia, another is Australia. Okay, so now coming to important, what is the concept behind the normal phase. Normal phase means, suppose this is the equator. Suppose this is our equator. So this is our equator. As we know that, so now the earth will move from west to east direction. That means whatever the trade winds are there. So now the concept is, whatever the trade winds are there in the equatorial part, they are majorly coming from east to west direction. So whatever the trade wind, the direction is west, from east to west, which are called as easterlies, normally. So now in normal condition, as we know that the equator is there, and whenever there will be sun, as we know that the heating effect over the equator is more. Or the temperature around the equator region is more, which are called as tropical part. So around the equator region, the temperature is more because of more amount of sunlight. We can say more intense sunlight is there as compared to the polar region. Hence, you know that in the Pacific region, the upper surface of the upper water surface, we can say, that is euphotic zone. As we know that here we can say a concept that, suppose this is the water body. And this is the surface layer of water. as there will be direct heated sunlight will be there, so the temperature of this water will increase. So as you know that the surface temperature of the ocean, the surface temperature is called as the upper layer, which is the upper layer, it is called as euphotic zone. This is the lower layer. Here we can say, suppose this is the lower layer, or we can say deeper layer, or we can say it is a photic zone. Okay, so upper layer of surface is there, which is called as euphotic zone. As the heating, due to the heating effect of the sunlight, here the temperature will increase. In this case, the temperature will increase for the surface water body. So now what will happen? So now it will go downward, it will move to another place, and now the cold water will move upward. So here the principle we will see here. So in the equatorial part, that is the Pacific region. Suppose let us take in what is happening here, we have to know. So in this case, as we have know that there is more amount of warm water will be there, which is the upper layer of the surface. Okay, so now we can say the upper layer of the we can say the upper layer of the ocean, which is Pacific Ocean, is getting warmed because of the intense sunlight, because of the intense heating effect of the sunlight. But now the question is, as a trade wind, as you can see here, the trade wind is there. This trade wind is moving from east to west direction. That means whatever the warm water will be there, this water will be collected. This water will be collected around the eastern side of Australia. Around the eastern side of Australia. Okay, if the warm water, so here is warm water is there, so comparatively the water present just on the coastal west coast of the South America, there will be cold water, yes or no? So here it is warm water, but here just beside the South America, the water becomes comparatively cold. So as you know that as the warm water will be there, so whatever the atmosphere is there, you can see here, whatever the atmosphere is there, just above the water body, the temperature will be more. The temperature will be more, that means the pressure will be less, and it becomes lighter in weight. So the lighter, or we can say less density, or the less density air, it will move upward direction. As we know that the lighter the weight, or the less density air, it will move upward direction. So as the air, or the atmospheric air will move upward, along with it will collect some moisture from the surface. So as with this thing, so here you can see, as the temperature will increase here, the atmospheric, whatever the atmospheric air is there, it becomes lighter in weight, and it will move upward. Along with this upward movement of air, it will collect the water from the ocean. So here you can see, as the water will be collected over the atmospheric region, and it becomes condensation due to by means of which process? By means of condensation. Some of the cloud, they will form cloud, and they will just create some rainfall here over the Australia region, because of this region. And as you can see here, as the air will move upward, so some of the so in this condition, due to the warm water condition in Australia region, there will be a creation of low pressure, warm temperature. As we know that increase in temperature, pressure will decrease. That means in this case, in Australian region, due to warm water, there will be creation of low pressure, as well as the impact will be also over the Eurasian part. That is, low pressure will be created in both Eurasian region as well as Australian region. But what about the South America part? As here cold water is present in the South America, comparatively high pressure will be there. Similarly, comparatively Eurasia and Australia, there is a island that is Massacaran Plateau or Massacaran Island. Here also there will be comparative high pressure will be created. And as we know that the air will move from which place to which place, from higher pressure area to lower pressure area. That means in normal condition also, from high pressure Massacaran Island, the air will move towards the India part, because it is in Eurasian low pressure will be there. Okay, so along this movement of air from Massacaran Island to India, most of the water it will collected from the ocean, and they will, as you know that there is some mountain regions are there, mountain ranges are there, and by means of this striking effect of this cloud with the mountain region, there will be heavy rainfall will be there over the Indian region. Okay, so this is the normal condition. Again you can see here, so as in this case, in case of Australian part, more rainfall will be there, and there as the we can see diagrammatically, suppose this is an air particle, it will move upward. That means there will be creation of void. To fulfill this void, the air movement will be like this. So the air movement will move from just over the ocean surface. The air movement will be from east to west direction. Okay, but we can see in the higher region, or we can see in the above the soil surface, or above the ocean surface, Pacific Ocean surface, you can see the movement will be from west to east direction, so that there will be a complete cycle will be formed. This cycle is called as Walker cycle. This cycle is called as Walker cycle. Similarly, if we will see here, just inside the water body, what is happening? You can see this is the cold water. You can see here, this is the cold water which is moving from South America to so here warm water is moving from South America to Australia. So warm water is collected here. So in order to fulfill this void from the deeper layer, the cold water, as you know that from the deeper layer the cold water is present. So here the cold water which is present in the deeper layer, it will fill the void created over the surface region. So this will be like this. Okay, this is the inside water body, and a Walker cycle will occur just above the water body, that is in the atmosphere. So here you have to know important concept is that whenever this is normal condition or neutral phase. So now coming to La Nina phase. Whenever we are coming to La Nina phase, so La Nina phase is nothing but the normal effect where the trade wind becomes more strong. So as means in La Nina, whatever the movement of trade wind is there, it becomes more strong. So more stronger, or we can say more stronger the trade winds means more amount of water. We can say more amount of water here it is collected. So here more amount of water, warm water will be collected over the Australian part. And if more amount of water is collected here, then the temperature here will also increase more and more, as well as in Eurasian condition also temperature will increase. Here temperature will increase more and more, here also temperature will increase. That means the low pressure will be created, more amount of low pressure will be created over the Australia part as well as the Eurasian part. So higher the lower pressure means lighter density of the air will be more, and more amount of air will move upward, and more amount of rainfall will be there over the Australian region. I hope you are getting my point. That means more stronger the trend wind, more stronger the trend wind means more amount of warm water will be collected over the eastern coast of Australia. More amount of warm water means lighter density of air will be there. More amount of lighter density of water air will move upward direction, and more amount of cloud formation will be there, and more amount of condensation process will be there, more amount of rainfall will be there. This is happening here. It is written that in a La Nina condition, it is a cooler phase where water temperature in the eastern Pacific gets comparatively colder than the normal. So stronger high pressure over the eastern equatorial Pacific. So here more amount of low pressure means here more amount of high pressure will be there in case of La Nina condition. So high rainfall in India. Why high rainfall will be in India? Because in Australia more amount of lower pressure will be created, as well as in Eurasia or Indian part more amount of low pressure will be created. And if more amount of low pressure is created, that means the difference between the temperature between the Massachusetts Island and Eurasian Island, the difference will be more. And higher the difference in we can say pressure, the more speed of the wind or air will be there. Okay, so more amount of air will move from Massachusetts Island to Indian part or Indian region. So more amount of air movement will increase, more amount of water vapor which will move to the Indian subcontinent, and more amount of rainfall, by means of condensation process. This is happening in the La Nina condition. Okay, so as you know that in La Nina condition, as just we can say in La Nina condition the temperature is more. In La Nina condition the temperature is more, in which case the temperature is more in case of Australian part and Eurasian part. As the temperature is more, so lighter the air, it will move upward direction and more rainfall. So in La Nina condition, more amount of rainfall will be there in case of Australian part and in case of Eurasian part or Indian condition. At the same time, you can see here more amount of cold water will move in upward direction, in which part? In the western part of the South America. So here it is called as deep upwelling. Deep upwelling of water, as the cold water will move upward direction. So as the cold water will move in upward direction, more amount of nutrient will be also collected in the which region? The western coast of South America. More amount of, this is we can say the surface or the soft surface part of the Pacific Ocean, just west coast of the South America, they will be enriched with the nutrients. That means more amount of fish will be there. So fish industries will be there in La Nina condition. Here you can say in a La Nina condition, high rainfall in India, but less rainfall will be, if it is high rainfall, then here low rainfall will be there. So if here low rainfall is there, then here we can see the drought condition in the Peru region. You are seeing that drought region. Low rainfall means drought region. But here the advantage is, here you are seeing more fishing industries. In which condition? La Nina condition in Peru or Chile, in these areas the fishing industries will be there. Just reverse effect of La Nina is the El Nino effect. just reverse effect is El Nino. So let us clear all these things. Okay, so coming to El Nino condition. In El Nino condition, what is normally happening? This is the equator. Here we can say this is the equator. This is the equator. But as we know that in La Nina condition, the trade wind becomes more strong. As the trade wind becomes more strong, so the warm water will be collected over the western part, or that is we can say over the Australian part, okay, western Pacific part or Australian part. But in El Nino condition, the trade wind becomes more weak. What is happening? The trade wind becomes more weak. If the trend becomes more weak, then there will be less warm water will be collected over the Australia. If less warm water is there, that means high pressure will be created. As compared to South America, there will be low pressure will be created. If it is low pressure, that means warm water will be there. More amount of warm water will be collected over the South America region, whereas less warm water collected over the Australian region. So less warm water, more higher the pressure. If higher the pressure, that means less rainfall will be there. In this case also, in Eurasia, the high pressure will be created because of the warmer water collected over these regions. So if it is high pressure, comparatively in Massachusetts Island, there will be low pressure will be created. So in this case, the movement of movement of air will be less. So if movement of air is less, that means the rainfall will be also decrease. In this case also, the Australian region, the rainfall is less. So in Australia and India, there will be less rainfall. We can say drought condition can occur in these regions. Where in these regions means in India, in case of El Nino condition, in India and Australia, there is a chance of drought condition. But what about the South America? That is the Peru region. In these cases, due to the low pressure is created, more warm water. That means the air will move upward because of the lighter dense or lighter weight, and more condensation will be there, and high rainfall will be there. So in El Nino condition in South America, high rainfall will be there, but there is no deep upwelling, so no fish industry will be developed in El Nino condition in South America as it was happening in the La Nina condition. So this is most important thing you have to know. I hope you have understood this subject, that is El Nino and La Nina. So the most important thing is that you have to remember, in case of La Nina condition, more rainfall will be there in case of India and Australia, whereas more fishing industry will be there in case of Peru or Chile, and a drought condition will be there in case of Peru and Chile. Just opposite in case of El Nino. In El Nino, drought condition will be there in case of India and Eurasia, whereas more rainfall will be there, or you can say flooding condition will be occur in Peru. Okay, I hope you can understood this subject. Thank you.